Let's take a tour together of the updated VW Golf GTI. So the facelift for the Golf family, of course also for this famous sporty version. And we start here directly at the front with Thomas and Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the illuminated VW logo. Is also standard for the GTI because the GTI also starts with these performance LEDs. Just on top of that, you would get the Matrix IQ light. It's also equipped with this vehicle, but still an option. You cannot see it though because this red stripe here at the side is covering the IQ light logo. But there is literally an indicator that you have the top LED trim. Here, the cascading form of the turning indicator is only included in the IQ light. Another news is that because you have this illuminated logo here, in the lower part you have a new grille, honeycomb structure, and the sensor moved from the logo down to here. But I think visually that's quite okay. So overall I think it is somewhat a visual upgrade, yes. I think it's also fitting with that logo there, and of course the typical GTI logo on the right side. Yeah, I like it especially, of course, in the typical GTI red. In the side profile, we can see that the GTI badge is now bigger and went here underneath the side mirror with large lettering. Also, new wheel style is available. Actually, a GTI still starts at 17-inch, really. And then optional, you can go 18-inch and optional. Yeah, always want more money, 19-inch. And these are the ones you can see in this new open hole styling. Maybe a little bit Alfa Romeo styling. What do you think? There's also been an Alfa Giulia episode recently here with the facelift. Also nice to watch it. Then typical side profile. Here the frames around are just in matte black. Not the best quality I feel actually. But the wheels, I think they do fit the vehicle very well. Also with the cool red contrasting brake calipers. In the rear, I think you can see the biggest reason to go for the top IQ light, the Matrix LED, because the rear lamp signature is different then. This is here the top signature, and then you have these individual elements, and they look actually quite fancy, don't they? So the outline of the lamps, they have not changed what is inside in both LED trims. Ooh, and look at the turning indicators or hazard lights with this IQ light and in the rear. Then these individual elements have the cascading form. I think it's a great lighting idea, isn't it? So yeah, definitely one of the highlights, although this is once again an option. And in the lower part, a very clear bumper and these real exhaust tips too. It's actually quite massive, you know, considering it's a 4-cylinder. Pretty cool exhaust tips, aren't they? Interior-wise, you have this sports decor element as standard. It looks like carbon fiber, is not a real one. Actually, it looks and feels extremely cheap, I have to say. Maybe they thought the same because now with the facelift, you will be able to order real carbon fiber also for the GTI. We can show you that at a later stage. The GTI comes with these sport seats with integrated head restraints. This is here the optional animal skin pack. Better, more comfortable and more breathable would be just a standard one with fabric on the inside and some microfiber accentuations. The overall form is good, really good comfort, and also here...
Sure. Sorry. Here's an overview of all the
No, cancel. This is always with the voice assistant systems. That's why I tend to deactivate them. Headroom, 6'2" or 1.89 m, still leave some headroom. This is also the one with the panoramic roof. You can actually also open that one. It's actually quite nice. And then there is this shade, a manual one. I'm totally okay with the manual shade, by the way. For me personally, I love to drive with panoramic roofs, yes, because I'm a convertible lover, and when the car is closed, it's also nice to have at least something. But then again, some of them do not really work at higher speeds, even if you're driving countryside roads. And you know, my technician at the workshop, my local workshop nearby, he always says, go convertible or go closed roof, because these small panoramic roofs tend to give problems after a while, like leaking, squeaking and so on. Interior cockpit overview, now with larger screens. And here also on the steering wheel, going away again from #capacitive BS buttons. Well, it is high glossy black, therefore it does collect fingerprints, but you can really press these buttons again, that's good. And also it doesn't happen that you accidentally press them. If the R will also go back that way is not decided yet, but for the GTI, for sure, I think that's a good step. Then you can also, for example, switch the DCC settings here. left to right. You can individualize your DCC if you have that adaptive suspension. The digital instruments also get a special GTI styling, and they're always adaptive. You can change the different stylings according to your liking. And you can also get a head-up display. It's a real one that is going into the windscreen. The new large infotainment system, helpful also for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wired or wireless, because you can see things easier. Also when you use Google Maps and so on, that's pretty helpful. And the overall car internal system is really quicker than before. Here, this way for seat cooling or seat heating. Then the climate unit is either here or then with these sliders. At least they are backlit now. Can't see it in daylight, but they are backlit. That's one step forward, even though a real climate unit would still be better. So this 13-inch screen is standard for style, R-Line, GTI, and of course also for the R. In the front there, two USB-C chargers, and then underneath here is the inductive charging pad that now is more powerful in the output, and also with these cooling vents against overheating. Since this generation, the 7-speed DSG has this small shifting lever. It cleans up everything, but also feeling less sporty, I feel. In the rear of a Golf hatch, not too much space for your legs actually when also a tall adult is driving, because these sport seats here, especially in the GTI, or if you have an R-Line or something, they're quite voluminous. Good for the front seats, not so good for the rear passengers, but the comfort itself is quite okay. Headroom still leaves some, also for tall adults. However, also in the rear, the animal skin material is way stiffer and you have less comfort. For accessing the trunk, it's always nice when you see the GTI badge and then you flip the logo right here and you have the typical Golf hatch trunk like this. Underneath, some sound system equipment, for example, also possible spare tire. And you can also, of course, fold the seats. If you want to see more with measurements and so on, you can also check out our general Golf facelift review where we compare the hatch versus the estate. As for the engine, well, first of all, Golf 8 just has this manual strut, no gas strut anymore, no real paint like on the exterior. I'm not sure, am I nitpicking on this one or am I right on this one, especially for Golf GTI? Tell me in the comments. About the engine itself, I would like a special engine cover, honestly. Here, 4-cylinder is kind of like visualized, 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine, now upgraded from 245 to 265 horsepower. Acceleration figure for GTI always around 6 seconds in this generation. We'll also later on, when we drive the car and so on, release the final figure for the upgraded horsepower version. Always front-wheel drive, of course, and there will still be a GTI Club Sport with 300 horsepower. Looking for a manual still? They cancelled this option now, only 7-speed DSG. And now, if you want to see more of the Golf facelift in general with different versions, tune into this video or see me launching out the Golf R.